Well, with summer vacation still in full swing, many of you are still planning to hit the roads or skies, not just with your family, but also with your pets. In fact, according to Dogster, 78% of pet owners in the U.S. travel with their pets every year. But it's not just a matter of throwing Fido in the car and taking off. There are extra things that you need to do before you travel with your pet. So let's ask the expert. Joining me now is Brett the vet with Arizona Animal Hospital. All right, Brett, let's go over the specific things that you recommend all owners should do. And starting with car safety. People should really, strap their dogs into a seatbelt or maybe even put them in a crate.
Sure. If you're going to travel with your pet like many people are this year, maybe do a little trial run, these short trips to the mailbox, I always say. If your dog gets car sick, you want to have the solutions for that, whether they're raised up so they can look out the window.
Right.
Versus tucked down there and miserable the whole way. If they need any medications for travel, such as vomiting or upset tummy.
Right, and I wanted to ask about the medications because, I've never done that with my little Sonny, but we hear about the prescription ones. What about the over-the-counter ones?
Over-the-counter is where I reach a lot. It's Dramamine, but you got to get the dose right for the dog. If Dramamine for car sickness. Okay, that's what I would use, but it's really got to get the dose right. You got to look that up and make sure you're not overdosing a little Chihuahua versus. How do you dose a Chihuahua versus a Great Dane? With those meds. So if you have a really small dog, I'd be careful with the over-the-counters because you can overdose.
Yeah, that's my concern too. Yeah. But aside from Dramamine, don't they make specific, car sickness, if you will, for dogs specifically, over-the-counter?
Not so much over-the-counter. There is a lot of supplements, remedies, which are not drugs.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, they're not the prescription drugs, but the over-the-counter supplements. Meclizine is like Dramamine. Those are the human generics that you can use and get at the human pharmacy. Otherwise, there are veterinary-specific prescriptions that you have to get from your doctor, your veterinarian, and I'd say it's a bit of trial and error too for the behavioral components of travel, not just upset tummy, but if you get anxiety, it's a trial and error for those medications.
Which is why it's so important to try these drugs out well before your trip versus the day before.
We see that. Yeah, and this time of year too with the heat, it's another huge consideration. Don't leave your dog in the car while it's running because we know that you can have those problems too. Always be mindful where you're going. If it's the hot pavement, at the beach or obviously here in Arizona, if you're traveling to here, which a lot of people aren't doing this time, make sure you protect their feet.
Right.
The kennel is always my favorite thing. I've said this before on the show. Take a crate, and the crate is generally a familiar thing for the pet. So wherever you go, that should go with because the dog's much more comfortable in the crate.
Right. And we've talked about how dogs should have eye protection, and you actually snapped a photo when you were out on your travels.
Love it.
Okay, that is hilarious. It's super cute, but also this is something you would actually recommend.
Yeah, so a lot of people ask, hey, is it okay if my dog pops his head out the window? And I'd say for short periods.
Yeah.
For short periods, but this dog obviously loves the attention, and the goggles are really giving him affect. Those protect his eyes from debris, road debris, dust, et cetera, et cetera. So if your pet will wear them and he loves to pop his head out the window, then I think it's okay.
The key thing, if your pet will wear them. I see Sunny trying to get it off. What about insect bites? That happens, all the critters are out. What you would be mindful of?
Oh yeah, where you're going. If you're camping, are there ticks, fleas, other bugs? We have a lot of snowbirds here that travel, and I always ask where they're going and make sure we get them outfitted for problems in that region. Whether you're going to the beach, if you're going to the mountains, you're going to the East Coast where Lyme disease, for example, is a problem. And then furthermore, what I know about that dog, this dog, every time he drinks the water in the ocean, he gets GI upset. So I want to send that pet owner with proper medication to put that fire out to make their trip a more pleasurable experience. Instead of having to seek an emergency vet at 3 in the morning.
Sure.
So make sure if you have specific conditions, take your little travel kit with you, your pharmacy kit, your med kit for your dog. And I like to help people outfit for those trips.
Good to know. All right, Brett, thank you. Now it's your turn. If you have any questions you want to ask our expert today, text us 602-444-1212. Again, make sure to let us know who you are and where you're texting from. And also send a picture. We'd love to see your pet.